Public speaking is one of the most powerful ways to grow your small business. Whether it's landing new clients, building your reputation, or positioning yourself as the go-to expert in your industry. But let's be honest, most people would rather do anything else than stand in front of an audience. Maybe you're worried that you'll mess up, that you'll sound boring, or that you just won't have anything of value to say. But here's the truth. Nailing public speaking isn't about perfection. It's actually about connection. In this video, I'll share 14 simple but powerful tips to help you speak with confidence, win over your audience, and even turn your talks into new business opportunities. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Charlie Bailey and I'm the founder of Raw UK, an online course business. Here on YouTube, we help small business owners, founders, solopreneurs, and multi-passionate professionals level up their skills so that they can thrive doing what they love. So let's get stuck in. So before we get into our tips, let's just have a quick think about why public speaking can be such a powerful tool for our businesses. The main reason is that it's part of your social selling arsenal. It can be one of the major tools that you use in your business to demonstrate to people that you've never met before that you are trustable, credible, and likable, and encourage them to, instead of being strangers, to become friends and perhaps even prospects or customers. Public speaking allows you to demonstrate your value, to share your passions, to build trust, generate leads, make connections, and show others who you are and what you're all about. So why do people hate doing it so much? Well, it's scary, they think they have no value to offer, and ultimately they don't know how to do it well. So I'm going to dive straight in and give you my 14 top tips to help you smash it with your public speaking. Tip number 1, this is super obvious, but prepare well. No one wants to sit there awkwardly watching you try and work out what you want to say, what order you want to say it, and looping back round on points you've already covered. You need to make sure you know exactly what you want to say, how you want to say it, so that your audience can relax and enjoy your talk. Tip number 2, structure your talk with an opening hook, something that's going to capture your audience's attention and make them want to listen to you, followed by your main points and then a clear call to action at the end. We'll talk a little bit more about that call to action in tip number 14. Tip number 3, use stories to demonstrate your point. No one wants to sit there and listen to you reeling off bullet points of information. You should try your best to bring your talk to life with storytelling. You could use something like the hero's journey framework to help you map out a transformation as an example. I'll actually be doing a video about the hero's journey and how you can use it in your content creation, so look out for that one in the future. Tip number 4, warm up your voice. This feels like such an awkward thing to do, but if you think about when you wake up in the morning and you haven't spoken to anyone for a while and you suddenly try and speak and your voice is all croaky, sounds a bit weird, you don't want that to happen when you step up onto the podium to give a talk. Your vocal cords and your mouth are muscles. You wouldn't go into a running race without warming up first, so why do we go into things like public speaking without warming up the muscles that we're going to use? Now, my recommendation for now is just to search on YouTube for vocal warm-ups for public speaking, but I will do a video at some point with my own favourite ones so that you can see exactly how I do it. Tip number 5, just before you go on stage, shake your body out. As it gets closer and closer to that time to get up on stage, our body often tenses up, and when we're tensed and we try and speak, that comes out in our voice and our body language. Backstage, just give yourself a shake, breathe it all out, get all of that tension out of your body so that you're ready and relaxed to go out there and speak normally. Tip number 6. This one isn't obvious at all, but it's something that I've learned to do over the years. As you step up to the microphone, before you actually start speaking, just breathe into the microphone. I'm going to lean over to the microphone so you can hear what I mean. So you'd step up to the microphone and you just do this. Hopefully you could hear that. Essentially what you're doing is you're checking that the microphone is on and that everyone can hear you. Because there's nothing worse than starting your talk, "Hello, I'm Charlie Bailey," and no one hears you, you have to stumble back over your words when they switch it back on, and it just feels so awkward and it takes you completely by surprise and knocks you off track. To avoid that, just do that simple trick of breathing through your nose into the microphone before you say your first word, just so you've got that confidence that when you say, hello, you know that that microphone is on. Tip number 7, speak through a smile. Smiles do something completely magical to our tone when we speak. If you don't believe me, try recording yourself on your phone, delivering a couple of seconds of a talk without smiling. Then record another video with you smiling as you speak, and you will hear a marked difference in how your voice comes across. It also shows your audience that you're friendly and approachable, so it's a win-win situation. Tip number 8, keep your pitch low. When we're nervous, everything tenses up, including our necks, our shoulders, our throats, and our vocal cords. This can cause the pitch of our voice to increase and we become high-pitched. Now, a high-pitched sound is meant to trigger something in a human being. It's associated with the cry of a baby, and so it's supposed to irritate us and trigger some sort of action in us to go and find out why the baby's crying. Unfortunately, people judge others within milliseconds of meeting them. And so the last thing you want to do is annoy your audience by being high-pitched the moment you open your mouth. Keep your pitch steady and low. Tip number 9. Now, you've probably been told to speak slowly when delivering a speech, but this is actually a misconception. Studies have found that people who speak at a good conversational pace retain audience attention, and actually varying your pace creates dynamism and interest for your audience. Tip number 10. Now, you might not need to speak slowly, but you should take advantage of the pause. Now, a second of silence for you up on stage might feel like 10 minutes and feel super awkward, but a well-placed pause actually allows the audience to catch up and reflect on key points. And so pausing for a second can be a really powerful tool. On that note, here's a brief pause from our content just to say that if you're enjoying this video, please do like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might also find it useful. Thank you. Now back to the video. Tip number 11, avoid apologising. If you lose your place, don't panic, don't apologise, take a breath, find your spot and carry on. If you say something incorrectly, that's okay. Don't apologise, just laugh it off, have a joke with the audience and carry on. And definitely don't apologise just for being up there or for showing them your personality. People lose trust in people who show low confidence, and your audience will subconsciously switch off to you if you start apologising. Instead, aim for friendly confidence and speak with authority. I cannot stress this enough. You do not need to apologise. Tip number 12, add humour in line with your own personality. You don't have to become a stand-up comedian, but the odd jokey comment which triggers a laugh can put everyone else at ease. Tip number 13, as you're coming to the end of your talk, use language which tells the audience that you're coming to a pivotal final point. You could say things like, as I come into land, or to conclude, or so as I come to the end of my time with you today. When your audience hears phrases like this, their ears turn back on and they sit up and wait for your final juicy piece of wisdom. And finally, tip number 14, end with a challenge. You want your audience to keep thinking about you after you've left the stage. You want them to continue thinking about you when they get in their cars to drive home. You want them to think about you in the shower at the end of the day, not in a weird way. Leave them with a challenge that reminds them of your existence and maybe even compels them to seek you out in the future for advice or maybe even for your services. And so, as I come into land, my final challenge for you is to say yes to that next public speaking gig and to use these top tips to elevate your public speaking game and build those connections with your prospects and future clients. Let us know how you get on in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.